And a very good evening to your good selves. Now, a fellow YouTube buddy and Facebook buddy, Ian Macy, I was having a wee chat with him earlier tonight, and he was quite down. And I said, "What's up, Ian?" And he said, "Do you remember about a month or so ago," he said, "that I did a video about a cave that I'd been recommended to go and record in Kimver." Now, this cave subsequently turns out to be a 700-year-old, well, fairly secret Knight Templars cave. Very ornate, very interesting. Honestly, you want to watch this vid. He was told about this. Now, Ian has been a resident of a place called Kimver in England for a very long time, and he does video after video, very interesting videos about the local area and the history, and he's very much about nature and he's a genuine guy. He has X amount of subscribers, and he is well deserving of them and the views. Okay? About 3 months ago, he was told by certain locals who had seen much of his work on YouTube and knew that he would be respectful about going to this place, so they told him about it. He never knew it existed, and this guy is all over the place of Kimver, but never knew about this at all. Now, obviously, others have known about this place, because you can see certain things like markings on walls from different dates and all the rest of it, but you don't really see much in the way of, well, anything to do with vandalism of any sort, or if there is, it's been cleaned up, big style. I would argue it's possibly still used to this day, although that may have changed after this. Rabbit hole leads to 700-year-old secret Knights Templar cave network. Now, possibly one or two of you out there already know about this story, because it was doing the rounds in the Sun, and shall we say various other papers. You will notice it's very well lit just now, isn't it, in these pictures? Keep that in mind. Now, the guy who decides to, in fact, let me read you some of this. "You'd be forgiven if you missed the entrance to this 700-year-old cave in Shropshire, because honestly it looks pretty much like an ordinary rabbit hole. However, the tunnel actually unearths untouched caves which were used by followers of the Knights Templars, a medieval religious order that fought in the Crusades." Now, before I go any further, I have mentioned the Knights Templars on other video channels that, well, they died. Let's just say they're no longer there. And I also said in those vids that in my personal view, they are very much alive to this day. They are very much involved in what's going on all around us, and they're major players. Let's just say that. But that's another video. But carrying on with the story. The incredible caves are hidden less than a metre beneath a farmer's field. Well, according to my friend Ian, they're a wee bit deeper than that. Not much, but a little bit deeper. And they are actually on about 4 levels. Photographer Michael Scott from Birmingham set out in search of this historical wonder after seeing a video of it online. Guess what video? Ian's. Doesn't even feel the need to recommend them or, say who it was or none of that, right? There's a reason. This guy, Michael Scott, is this YouTuber. Now, about a year ago, Ian, because he saw a video online related to Kimver, he, in one of his own videos, decided to, using YouTube's copyright aspect and all the rest of it, and, just a small tiny smidgen of it, incorporated it into one of his vids. Ian, within days, got a YouTube strike. This guy, Michael Scott, didn't even email him and said, "Listen, I'm not happy with you using any of my recordings in any way, shape or form at all." Didn't even bother with an email. Just complained to YouTube, and Ian got a strike. Now, Ian could have argued about it, but he just said, okay, fair enough, blah, blah, blah. But this little bunny boiler kept looking at all of Ian's work, because it's worth it. I would recommend, if you haven't subscribed to Ian Macy's channel, I would certainly recommend them. Great and very interesting vids. Okay, lovely guy. Genuine. But on this video that Ian did over a month ago, at some point when he was doing this vid, he realises there's bats in the cave. So, towards the end of it, once he realises there's bats in the cave, he stops filming and he leaves. He even put underneath the vid, there are bats in the cave, so the place is protected. He apparently even got in touch with those who are related to this and this, because apparently by law you're supposed to inform that there is bats, roosting bats, whether it be in a cave, a house, or whatever else. Okay, so he did it all by the book. But look what this guy, Michael Scott, did. Found the place somehow, because in the vid, Ian states, let me play you this.
What a fantastic place this is. I want to keep the location quiet about this, because this is a real special place. This is.
I want to keep the place protected, blah blah blah. I didn't mention where it was, etc, etc, all the rest of it. It was very respectful from start to finish, and that's why I would argue potentially one or two local occultists had said, hey Ian, we've seen your vids, you do great work for Kimver, we know you're the guy to trust to go down there, etc, etc. Obviously others possibly know about this place existing, but you'll notice as you go through this vid, there's not a lot in the way of anything to do with vandalism or whatever else. Maybe one or two kids have possibly stumbled across it and, you know, but there's no like spray paint, nothing. There's no, or if there has been any of it, it's been well and truly cleaned up. And I would argue, in some respects, possibly ritualistically, that cave is being used to this day. Well, I don't know now, after what's been said in national papers over the last day or so. You know how important the Templars are in the big scheme of things. Those who are awake. But this guy, Michael Scott, goes down to a place where there is protected bats and just puts candles everywhere. You'll notice, well, I certainly didn't see anything about bats in there. He knew, he was warned. He was warned, he was told. It's the first line in what he states underneath it. There are bats in the cave, so the place is protected. Bats in the law. In Britain, all bat species and their roosts are legally protected by both domestic and international legislation. This means you will be committing a criminal offence if you deliberately capture, injure or kill a bat, intentionally or recklessly disturb a bat in its roost, or deliberately disturb a group of bats. I don't need to read any more of this. That guy knew what he was doing. Selfishly goes down there for a bit of glory hunting. Look at me! As if he's the guy that's just, you know, puts lit candles all over the place. And then starts snapping away. Oh, by the way, any Knights Templar out there, you know who to talk to. Mr. Michael Scott. You can thank for that. Anyway, this vid's more for Ian than anybody else. He is so gutted. It was never his intention when he did this vid for this to happen. So I just thought I would fill you all in on a wee bit of that detail behind that story. And obviously I'll leave you a link to that, possibly that, definitely that. most definitely the vid. Watch it. Well worth your time. Hugely interesting. And although obviously that's better lit, that video is well worth your time watching. And I'll speak to you soon.